Hi, my name is Yin Gao and welcome to Dr. Gao's classroom. I'm a professional philosopher and I love classical Chinese poetry. I also have a passion for classical Chinese philosophies. I have been teaching and translating classical Chinese philosophies for many years and poetry for the last few years. I would love to share my knowledge on these subjects with you. Your enjoyment is my command. Today, I'm going to continue my talk about the legalist view about the musical nature of the cosmos. As I mentioned in my first video on the musical cosmos of ancient China, the belief that the cosmos is fundamentally musical is shared by many different philosophical schools, including the legalist, Taoist, and Confucianist. In that video, I talked about the belief presented in the legalist text, 管子 or Master Guan. According to Master Guan, the rise and fall of yin and yang energies constitute the fundamental rhythm of the musical cosmos. The right way for human society to operate is to align human activities and policies with this cosmic rhythm. If human activities are not aligned with this rhythm, all the policies implemented are out of synchrony with this rhythm, various disasters will happen, leading to dire consequences for human society. This rhythm is most clearly expressed in the form of seasonal changes. Hence, the government policies should be aligned with seasonal change. Although Master Guan does not make the connection between the concept of music with cosmic rhythm, the text makes it clear that the rise and fall of the yin and yang energies are rhythmic, leading to the seasonal changes. Hence, the cosmos is fundamentally musical. So we can argue that Guanzi's view on the cosmos is to regard it as musical, and the cosmic rhythm is expressed in the form of seasonal changes. In the second legalist text, 吕氏春秋, or the Chronicles of Lu Bu-wei, the connection between the cosmic rhythm and the concept of music is made explicit. It follows the same way of thinking to argue that the cosmic rhythm is expressed in seasonal changes, and human activities and policies should be aligned with the cosmic rhythm expressed in the seasonal changes. Since there is too much content to cover in one video, I'm going to make two videos about 吕氏春秋, or the Chronicles of Lu Bu-wei. In this video, I'm going to introduce the historical context of the text, as well as the two historical figures of Lu Bu-wei, who founded the text, and the first person who ever called himself Emperor, Ying Zheng. Yes, Ying Zheng was the very first emperor in Chinese history, and the guy buried himself with the terracotta statues army. I'm also going to cite a few passages from the text 吕氏春秋 and translate an important passage from the text to illustrate the historical significance of the text. This video is the last one I upload this year. Next week is Christmas, so I wish all of you a very happy Christmas and New Year. I will take 3 weeks off during Christmas and New Year, so I'll see you in 2023. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read the original text with me, please contact me. Here is my email address. Now, let me first introduce the three heroes in today's story, Lu Bu-wei, Yang Yiren, and Ying Zheng. Lu Bu-wei was born into a merchant family around 292 BC in the state of Zhao, whose territories occupied parts of today's Hebei, Shanxi, and Shanxi provinces. During the Warring State period, that is, between 403 and 221 BC, a state often took a prince as a hostage from another state to ensure that state would not attack them. One of the princes from Qin state, named Yang Yiren, was taken as a hostage at the state of Zhao. However, taking Yang Yiren as a hostage did not prevent the state of Qin attacking Zhao. So Prince Yang Yiren was almost forgotten by his home state. So he was treated badly by the Zhao court. When Lu Bu-wei found out about this, he thought this presented a great investment opportunity. He talked his father into investing in Prince Yang Yiren and helping him to become the king of Qin state. 史记, or the record of history, reported this like this. 直楚, Yang Yiren's given name, a grandson of the king of Qin, was held as a hostage at Zhao. He did not have much resources for food, travel, and other expenses, trapped in a difficult situation, and was not happy. Lu Bu-wei was doing business at Handan, the capital of Zhao state, saw this and took pity on him, saying, "This is a rare commodity which can be hoarded for a better price." This is how the phrase 奇货可居 means a rare commodity which can be hoarded for a better price come into being and has been used ever since then. Lu Bu-wei provided funds for Yang Yiren to contact the politically powerful people at his home state and bribe them to get their support, especially the princess of his father, Huayang Furen, or Madam Huayang. In 257 BC, while the Qin army was attacking the Zhao capital, the Zhao king was going to kill Prince Yang Yiren, but Lu Bu-wei helped Yiren to escape the Zhao capital and returned to the Qin state. In 251 BC, Yang Yiren's father became the king of Qin and made Yiren the crown prince. However, his father died 3 days after he assumed the crown. So Yiren became the king of Qin. He soon appointed Lu Bu-wei as his premier and awarded him with the title of Wenxin Hou, or Marquis of Wenxin, and the county of Luoyang as his fiefdom, and 100,000 household as his tenant. All the investment made by Lu Bu-wei paid off handsomely. Now, what about the first emperor Ying Zheng? Well, we need to go back to the time when Lu Bu-wei first met his father Yang Yiren. Lu Bu-wei not only provided funds for Yang Yiren, but also entertained him often at his home. One night, Lu Bu-wei had his concubines danced at their banquet. One of the concubines caught Yiren's eyes, and Yiren asked for her. It was quite common during the Imperial China to give away one's concubines as a gift to a guest. So Lu Bu-wei did not hesitate to give that concubine to Yiren. She was recorded as Zhao Ji, or a beauty from Zhao. She gave birth to a boy in 259 BC. That boy was named Ying Zheng. Some historians believe that Zhao Ji was already pregnant when she was given to Yi Ren, so Lu Bu-wei was the biological father to Yin Zheng, not Yi Ren. Whether this was true or not, Lu Bu-wei was the one who raised Yin Zheng. When Yi Ren fled Zhao in 257 BC, Zhao Ji and Yin Zheng were left behind at Zhao and stayed there for another 6 years. It was Lu Bu-wei who provided for them and protected them with his connections at Zhao. They eventually returned to the state of Qin in 251 BC when Yi Ren was made the crown prince and soon became the king of Qin. When Yi Ren took the crown, he made Zhao Ji his queen and Yin Zheng his crown prince. In 247, Yi Ren died, and the 13-year-old Yin Zheng took the crown as the king of Qin. This was a dangerous time for Yin Zheng because he had a half-brother who was backed by the state of Han, a very powerful state at the time, as a rival for the crown. So he made Lu Bu-wei his premier to assist him to consolidate his power. The text吕氏春秋was compiled during this time. The huge project was completed in 241 BC. To promote the work, in 239 BC, Lu Bu-wei, who had become the most powerful man in the state of Qin, displayed the whole book at the market by the capital city gate, announcing that whoever can change a word in the whole book will be rewarded by 1,000 pieces of gold. Yet, no one dared to take the challenge. During the early years of Yin Zheng's reign, Lu Bu-wei and Yin Zheng's mother Zhao Ji held the real power. In order to get all the support from Lu Bu-wei, Yin Zheng addressed him as Zhongfu, or the second father, only next to his late father, the former king Yi Ren. Lu Bu-wei's power had exceeded his position as the premier. He was practically the regent, running the kingdom on Yin Zheng's behalf with his mother. The whole project of吕氏春秋can be seen as a textbook for Yin Zheng when he was the king in training. The whole work was laid out according to the 12-month calendar, detailing how the Son of Heaven should behave, what policy should be implemented in each month, as well as the theoretical justification and arguments supporting the policy, etc. It also laid out the frameworks of the fundamental philosophical principles about the cosmos, human nature, as well as the general ethical principles, etc. As you will see in my second part of this video, 吕氏春秋 adopted substantial contents from 管子 or Master Guan. However, it also elaborated the content in much more detail and absorbed substantial new content from other schools, such as the schools of Yin-Yang and Five Faces, Taoism, legalism, Confucianism, even the Moism, etc. In order to show you the continuous transition of knowledge, I would also cite the content about the first month. Here is a quite long quote from the first chapter on the first lunar month. Lunar January. In this month, the sun is located as Pegasus. At dusk, the Orion will appear in the middle of the sky. At dawn, the Scorpions will appear in the middle of the sky. Its days belong to the wood phase. They are governed by Fu Xi, the god of growth, assisted by the spirit of growth, Gou Mang. The dominant creature at this time is the creature with scales. Here's a footnote. Because they arise from the yin energy, its tone is yi, its pitch is tai chu. The eastern wind thaws the ice and the hibernating insects stir. The Son of Heaven takes residence at the left chamber at the Green Yang Palace. He rides in a chariot with phoenix bells driven by black horses and carry a banner embroidered with black dragons, wears black garments and black jet ornaments, takes meals made of wheat and mutton. His vessels are carved with openings. In this month, there is the festival of establishing spring. 3 days before the festival, the grand historian informs the Son of Heaven, says, such and such a day is the establishing spring festival. The thriving virtue is at the wood face. The Son of Heaven will fast. On the date, the Son of Heaven leads the 3 dukes, the 9 ministers, the princes, and the grand officials to welcome the spring at the eastern suburb. On returning, he rewards the dukes, ministers, princes, and the grand officials at the court. He orders the ministers to issue the policies and calendar, letting the people celebrate the festival, and implement the beneficent policies which reaches millions of people. In this month, the heavenly energy descends, the earthly energy ascends. The heavenly and earthly energies interact harmoniously. Grass and trees germinate and grow. The princess issues policies for agriculture activities, ordered agriculture ministers to take residence at the eastern suburb to oversee the repair of landmarks and boundaries, calibrate the path, examine and assess the different soils of the hills, the plains, and marshes, etc., to see what crops are suitable for each field and teach the farmers how to plant the crops. Implementing summer policies during spring, the wind and rain will not arrive at the right time. Grass and trees will wither early. The state will face the risk of famine. Implementing autumn policy, pandemic will break out, and storms will strike many times. Various weeds will thrive with the crops. Implementing winter policies, flood will ruin the crops. Frost and snow will do great damage, and the spring crop could not be harvested. As you can see, the content is quite similar to that of 管子, but with more details. It also differs that it is directly addressed to the Son of Heaven. There are also new content added to the list of policy for each month. In this month, the Son of Heaven commands the director of music to enter the Royal Academy to practice dance, edit and organize sacrificial rituals, make offers to mountains, forests, rivers, and marshes. He issues orders that no female animal be used as victims and ban logging, no overturning the bird nest, forbid the killing of young animals, pregnant animals, fledgling birds, fawn, or collecting eggs of wild birds, forbid drafting great number of labor or building city walls, and collect bones and bury dead bodies. As you can see, these passages are similar to the related passages from 管子, but with a lot more details about protecting the environment and the wildlife, not drafting labor for large public work. It also mentioned for the director of music to practice dance. This is probably related to the sacrificial rituals that mentioned here. However, there is also completely new content added. Here, I would like to translate and analyze the added new policy regarding military campaigns. Now, let me read it first. 是月也，不可以称兵，称兵必有天殃。兵戎不起，不可以从我始。无变天之道，无绝地之理，无乱人之计。Now, let me read them line by line. 是月也，不可以称兵，称兵必有天殃。是 means this. 月 means month. 也 is the mark for a stop. 不 means not. 不可以 means should not. 称 means raise. 兵 means military force. 称 again means raise. 兵 means military force. 必 means must. 有 means there will be. 天 means natural. Yang means calamity. So the two lines read, in this month, the Son of Heaven should not raise military forces. If they are raised, natural calamities will strike. 兵戎不起，不可以从我始。兵 again means military force. 戎 refers to armor and weapon. 不 means not. 起 means raise. 不 again means not. 可以 means should. So 不可以 means should not. 从 means from. 我 means I in modern Chinese. But in classical Chinese, it often refers to the side one is with. For example, 敌我 means the enemy side and one's own side. So I translate the term as us. 始 means start. So the two lines read, military forces should not be raised and equipped. If there is a war, it should not be started by us. 无变天之道，无绝地之理，无乱人之计。无 here is used as 无 meaning don't. 变 means change. 天 means heaven. 之 means of. 道 means way. 无 again means do not. 绝 means cut off. But you can also translate it as break. 地 means earth. 之 means of. 理 means pattern. 无 again means do not. 乱 means disrupt. 人 means man or human. 之 again means of. 计 literally means the silk thread one finds on a silk cocoon to sort out the silk. The character is later extended to mean something that can lead one to a desirable result. So I translate it as guiding principle. So the three lines read, do not change the way of the heavens. Do not break the patterns of the earth. Do not disrupt the guiding principles of man. The 官职 or the master 官 aims at teaching a prince how to be a ruler at his own kingdom. But 吕氏春秋 is clearly directed at teaching a prince to be the son of heaven. That is, the ruler of the whole Chinese world. The project of 吕氏春秋 was completed in 239 BC, nearly 20 years before Ying Zheng conquered all 6 remaining states and established the Qin Empire. This means that from the very beginning, Lu Bu-wei intended to train Ying Zheng to be the ruler of the whole Chinese world as the son of heaven. It took Ying Zheng 18 years to accomplish this impossible mission. 吕氏春秋absorbs thoughts from different schools of the time and integrated them into a consistent framework of a philosophical system that gave rise to comprehensive ethical principles as well as justifying them. Based on this, a whole set of policy was developed and explicated. For instance, a whole musical theory was developed in 吕氏春秋, which was later integrated into the Confucian text of 礼记, or the Book of Right. This calendar system of policy are so important for the Confucians, it was integrated into the state-sponsored educational system of the later dynasties. Even more than 1,000 years later, some topics from 吕氏春秋were still used in the civil service examination in the Tang, Song, Ming, and Qing dynasties. Of course, Lu Bu-wei or 吕氏春秋 was not mentioned. It was Li Ji that was used as the textbook and tested in the civil service examination for all Confucian scholars during this time. And once these scholars become scholar officials, this calendar of policies was implemented by these scholar officials. And no one cared to point out that the content were originated from 吕氏春秋. Talking about plagiarism, this is probably the most successful plagiarism. So in my next video on Chinese philosophy, I'm going to talk about the musical theory presented in 吕氏春秋, followed by another video about how the Confucianists plagiarized from 吕氏春秋 in their 礼记. You will see how much the Confucian had copied from 吕氏春秋. If you're new to my channel, please check out my other videos on classical Chinese poetry, philosophies, or medical literature. If you like the content of these videos, please click the like button and subscribe my channel. I also offer one-to-one online lessons on these subjects. So if you would like to read the original text with me, please contact me. Here's my email address. Thanks for viewing my video, and I'll see you in 2023. Thank you.